Afternoon, girls. This is the last topic on our course, Departmental Final Accounts of Sole Trader. Now, if we just have a look at what they give us, this is a 60-mark question from 2017. They give you a trial balance with some information. They give you some additional information at the end, and then they have really one bit of accounts and one bit of theory, and the accounting part of it is prepare a departmental trading profit and loss account for the year ended. So it's just like preparing a regular trading profit and loss account, except there will be 3 sections. So one section for each department, and we see there's a ladies wear and a menswear department. And there's information throughout this about the ladies' wear department, about the men's wear department. So one of those sections each, and a total section. Now, the way it's laid out, if we have a look over here, is with 6 columns. So if you like, really, it's 2 columns for each profit and loss account. There are 2 total columns, not side by side though, 2 ladies columns and 2 men's columns. So really, it'd be if you were to do these individually, it would be like doing a trading profit and loss account with 2 columns, I guess. So let's have a look at where we start. Well, I suppose where we start with the trading profit and loss account, as always, is with our sales. So let's start that up here. Sales, and our sales, if we go to the trial balance here, we see that the ladies' wear department, there's some information, and men's wear department, there's some information. So there's purchase and sales in the ladies' wear department and purchase and sales in the men's wear department. So in this question, sometimes you get individual figures and sometimes you get one large figure, as we see like here in the salaries and general expenses, and you have to split this up. Okay, in this case we don't have to split this up. In fact, we just have to put these 2 pieces of information together for the total columns and put them in individually in the ladies' wear and the men's wear columns. So sales for ladies' wear 300,000, sales for men's wear 200,000. So over here, and ordinarily, I know this is kind of a confusing layout the first time you use it, but ordinarily, if you imagine there were just 2 columns side by side in a trading profit and loss account, the sales figure will go on the far right column. So if we have 2 ladies columns here, on the far right we'd put the sales figure, which is, we said 300,000, isn't it? Let's see now. And the men's figure we said was 200,000. And then the total figure must be both of these together, which is 500,000. Okay, that's the first step. Then if we, I suppose the next thing we always put in here is less cost of sales. Okay, and the first part of the cost of sales process is the opening stock. And again, if we go over here, we have an opening stock for each of these. The ladies' wear it's 25,000, and in the men's wear it's 16,000. So again, if we think about it, it would, if we had just 2 columns for, we'll say, the ladies' wear, and we just had them side by side, the cost of sales will go on the left-hand column, wouldn't it? So this is the left-hand column if we just take these as 2 columns side by side. So it's 25,000 we said, wasn't it? And men's was 16,000, I believe we said. So all told, the opening stock is 41,000. So again, if the total was 1 trading profit and loss on its own, then the opening stock for the total trading profit and loss would go on the left column. Okay, so next thing is plus purchases. So let's have a look back here again. So we have, let's try and get this all in here. Purchases for the ladies' wear is 210, purchases for the men's wear is 140. So again, it would be plus purchases, ladies' wear 210, men's wear, what did I say it was, 140. Okay, and I suppose rather than totaling it right now, we'll just add a few more things in first and then total afterwards. So the next thing is, it's normally less closing stock at this stage, but we have a few additional items in here, and they are, if we look in the ladies' wear department, there's carriage in of 4,000, so that's going to definitely add to the cost, isn't it, in cost of sales. So if we say let's carriage in, oops, okay, and the carriage in we said was 4,000, and again that would be added to the cost of sales. Now there was no carriage in for the men's, so this total here would be 4,000. So if we look down here again, that's it for the ladies' wear department. Then if we look the menswear department, stock purchase and sales, we've got this import duty here of 1,000, and again that will add to the cost. So we'll go over here at the cost of sales plus import duty, and that was only in the menswear, wasn't it? And the total, oh, we never totaled the purchases, excuse me there, so that's what, 350. There we go. Okay, so far so good. And I think there was one other item in the menswear, returns out here, so 3,000. So returns out is purchases returns, isn't it? So that returns out is going to reduce our cost of sales. So it was just for the menswear, so I'll put in a minus 3,000 here, minus 3,000 here, and this is your less returns out, if you like. Okay, so that's the first part. We'll total that before we take away the closing stock and get our total cost of sales. So totaling it all, what do we get for the first one? 154. Next one, 239. Next one must be, I suppose, if we wanted to double check, we could just be adding these two together to get the last one. So what would that be? 3. Or you could add down here and get your 393. So next thing we said was less closing stock. So like so far it's just the same as a regular